Welcome to the Horsemouth Podcast, my excuse to meet fascinating people and learn about how they work, their creativity, and their problem solving process. On today's show, I have Advocate Akanksha Mishra. She's the CEO of Loctopus Law School. She's an independent litigator at the Nagpur bench of the Bombay High Court, and she's my beloved wife. She recently got the Business Standard 30 Under 30 award as a leading voice in law, and now she's on my podcast talking about a lot of things. And the plan was to spend the next hour talking about her career as a litigator and then her current career as an educator of law. But unfortunately, we spent so much time just talking about the first half that we could not get to the education bit. So I think we'll cover that in the next episode. But for now, I'm really happy that we had this conversation. We go really in depth about how a lawyer works, what their process is, how they start their day, what their priorities are when they are working, the specificity of how they draft an argument, and a lot of other things. And we'll get into that. So without much further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Advocate Akanksha Mishra. Akanksha,
Yes,
how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I think पहली डेट के बाद इतना awkward मैं पहली बार फील कर रहा हूँ हमारे बीच में. But okay, Akanksha, I really want to know from you. You have a lot of litigator friends. You have a lot of friends who are on field, so to speak.
Right.
But you are not doing that anymore. You are the CEO of Loctopus Law School, and you are now teaching. So what has that? Why did you choose that? And do you miss being on ground, especially in a high court like Nagpur?
I mean, yes, I don't call myself as a traditional lawyer who, takes only cases and is constantly sitting in her chamber. Definitely. I am doing it's like a balance of taking legal cases and also inspiring and empowering students of law to follow their dream. So it's now become like a two-way thing, like helping people get justice and then also helping students, also helping creating people who can give good justice. So I think it's something that I'm really enjoying a lot.
Good justice का क्या मतलब हुआ? Justice तो justice होती है ना.
I mean, मेरा कहने का मतलब that was just a गलती से बोल दिया मैंने. What I mean is कि fair justice, क्योंकि justice तो दिखाने के लिए बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो सकती है, but something which actually has meaning. So that kind of justice.
पर एक lawyer के लिए justice थोड़ा सा commercial भी होता है. मतलब don't you find that maybe if you want your client to win, you may have a skewed interpretation of justice or what it is to be just?
हाँ, डेफिनेटली बट कोई भी चीज़ को ना बहुत आगे तक अगर लेके जाना है तो आप उसको एक लिमिट तक ही कमर्शलाइज कर सकते हो. यू हैव टू ब्रिंग इन अ लॉट ऑफ क्या कहते हैं उसको, एक बहुत ही रॉनेस, एक बहुत ही प्योरिटी की ज़रूरत होती है कोई भी चीज़ को आगे तक अगर लेके जाना है तो. इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज अबाउट लाइक
नहीं, पर ठीक है, यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट प्योरिटी.
हाँ,
बट व्हाट अबाउट मनी?
हाँ, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि इवन इफ यू सी सक्सेसफुल लॉयर्स टुडे, okay, who might be earning a lot of money, but very few lawyers are the lawyers who are earning a lot of money and also getting a lot of respect and also getting a lot of genuine sort of matlab they're actually playing a true role of a lawyer. I don't want to pick names, but I'm saying that there's a difference between being a business person and being a lawyer who makes good money.
So what is that? Because मैं तुमको बताता हूँ, मेरा perception ऐसा है that if a lawyer is making a lot of money, I think the general
that he's a good lawyer.
No, in fact, I am thinking that he's not a good lawyer. I am thinking he or she is a corrupt lawyer because they're making good money.
That's what I'm saying. कि वो ना एक tag आ जाता है, ठीक है? But at the same time, if you are a very good lawyer who's not just focused on money, who's actually focused on bringing justice, okay? And see, अच्छा, यहाँ पे ना मैं एक चीज़ डेफिनेटली क्लियर करना चाहती हूँ कि जस्टिस का मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं होता है कि तुम सही का साथ दो. सही क्या है, गलत क्या है, लॉयर डजंट डिसाइड, द जज डिसाइड. ठीक है. सो व्हेन आई से जस्टिस, इवन इफ अ क्रिमिनल कम्स टू मी एंड इफ दैट क्रिमिनल ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्स फेयर रिप्रेजेंटेशन, आई विल गिव. सो जो लॉयर सही का साथ या गलत का साथ देता है वो सही है, वो मेरा वो कहने का मतलब नहीं है. मेरा कहने का मतलब है कि जो लॉयर अपनी ड्यूटी सही तरीके से करता है विदाउट थिंकिंग कि मैं इसको अभी के लिए ना किसी तरीके से कर
फेयर
देता हूं.
रिप्रेजेंटेशन
फेयर रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज जस्टिस अकॉर्डिंग टू मी.
ओके.
विदाउट थिंकिंग कि मैं इसको किसी तरीके से टाल लेता हूँ, मुझे ज्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे. दैट आई थिंक इज.
एंड व्हाट अबाउट दिस, मतलब मैं जनरली बिकॉज अभी बिफोर आई मेट यू आई वाज इन टच विद सम अदर लॉयर्स आल्सो. एक होता है कि एक परसेप्शन है कि लेट्स लिंगर ऑन दिस थिंग, कि इसको लटका के रखो एंड
वेरी कॉमन.
क्यों सॉल्व करना. तो डू यू फाइंड इजंट दैट अ करप्ट प्रैक्टिस?
सी आई मीन दैट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन बाय द वे, क्योंकि क्या होता है कि बाहर से जब कोई इंसान देखता है ना तो तारीख पे तारीख इज द ओनली थिंग दैट इज विजिबल. बट देखा जाए तो ये ना लॉयर्स या जजेस की गलती नहीं है, पूरी की पूरी जुडिशियल सिस्टम इस तरीके से हो गया है ना कि क्या होता है कि अगर हम चांस नहीं दे तो भी गलत है, चांस दे तो भी गलत है.
चांस किसको चांस?
लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप नहीं आ रहे हैं अपने केस के लिए, एक बार नहीं आए, दूसरी बार नहीं आए, तीसरी बार नहीं आए, चौथी बार भी चांस देना मुझे बनता है. आई हैव टू गिव इनफ नंबर ऑफ चांसेस टिल आई फील कि दैट पर्सन
नाउ इट इज इनएक्सक्यूजेबल.
नाउ इट इज यस. सो वो देते देते अब क्योंकि लॉ में अब लॉयर्स आर वेरी इंटेलिजेंट पीपल. ओके. सो उस चांसेस के ड्यूरिंग ही वो और ऐसे सर्कमस्टांसेस क्रिएट कर लेते हैं कि हमें और 5 चांसेस जज को देने में जज इज लाइक मजबूर टू गिव और 5 चांसेस. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि नोइंगली अननोइंगली पेंडेंसी ऑफ केसेस इतना बढ़ गया है कि कॉमन पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड ब्लेमिंग द लॉयर्स कि अरे आप तो सिर्फ तारीख लेते हो. भाई लॉयर क्या करेगा जब आप तारीख लेने के लिए तारीख लेने के अगेंस्ट बात करोगे तो जज आपको सुना देगा, ऑपोजिट लॉयर आपको सुना देगा. उसके बाद अगर जज ने आपकी बात मान ली तो ऊपर के कोर्ट के जज ने नीचे वाले कोर्ट को जज को सुना देना है. तो हर एक इंसान ना एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो सबकी बेड़ियां बंधी हुई हैं. नॉट लाइक एवरीबडी इज anybody is doing it out of yes, but उसमें एक और एंगल ऐसा होता है कि a lot of lawyers strategically drag the cases for like years and all so that उनको पैसा भी मिलता रहे, केस भी ना सॉल्व हो. ये अलग अलग मैटर होता है. ऐसे भी बहुत सारे. सो वही है ना कि एक सिस्टम है, उसको फायदा उठाने के लोग भी बहुत हैं और एक्चुअल में फंस जाने वाले लोग भी बहुत हैं.
ओके. ठीक है, चलो ये तो हमारी सिस्टम की बात हुई और ये सिस्टमिक करप्शन एंड ये बिग पिक्चर्स हैं.
Yes.
बट लेट्स गेट इनटू द निटी-ग्रिटीज. टेल मी एज अ lawyer first and then we'll come to your education background as well. As a lawyer, what is you can speak for yourself, but since you are not exactly a very active litigator anymore, so you can speak for yourself, but also give me an idea of what a lawyer does in a day, especially in the high court of some place like Nagpur where we are.
See, I can definitely recall my days and tell you I have had days when I have
but instead of like recalling the fond memories and all of that, I want to know दिनचर्या.
हाँ, दिनचर्या ही मैं आपको बताती हूँ. उसमें जैसे हर एक लॉयर का मोस्टली आप देखोगे तो काफ़ी सिमिलर टाइप का रूटीन होता है. ठीक है. तो सुबह जैसे कोई आम इंसान he goes to office in the morning and then probably gets free by 6 p.m. in the evening, and then he has his own personal life. Lawyers don't have any personal life. We get up in the morning, we think about the law, we think about the files, we think about what is going to happen in the court today. We get up with anxiety. Okay, then we get ready, we immediately rush to office. Office is our home. ठीक है. हमारा जो एक्चुअल होम होता है वहाँ हम सिर्फ सोने के लिए आते हैं. सो वे वी रश टू दी ऑफिस में प्रिपरेशन करना होता है कोर्ट के लिए. कोर्ट में फिर जाके सुबह से लेके शाम एटलीस्ट शाम के 6 बजे तक के आपको कोर्ट में रहना ही होता है, क्योंकि आपकी केस कब लग जाए, कब क्या हो जाए. और प्लस कोर्ट इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेस टू मेक मेक बिजनेस एक्चुअली. तो मतलब क्लाइंट्स के लिए भी बहुत बेस्ट जगह होता है. तो यू हैव टू स्पेंड दैट मच टाइम इन द कोर्ट. ठीक है.
एंड यू आर स्पीकिंग एज अ up and coming lawyer, but also are you speaking for the big lawyers?
हाँ, बिग लॉयर्स का एक ही डिफरेंस होता है कि वो पूरे दिन कोर्ट में नहीं होते हैं, ठीक है.
तो डू यू थिंक दैट अगर जो somebody who's not in court they may be out of touch?
No, not at all, not at all. They are like, so, that's not true. So you have to be in court for a certain period of time in the beginning of your career. Okay, at least for the first 5 years, you should have literally your 9 to 6 p.m. you should spend in court if you want to really be a very good lawyer, because it's not just about your cases. You will learn so much from the environment, from the staff, from the clerk, from the canteen. The when you're going to just eat with lawyers and you're going to find out 10 million things about the court.
But this you're speaking of for the big lawyers also are doing this.
They did it in their times when they had started
अच्छा,
their career.
okay.
That's what I'm saying कि when you're starting the career तब आपको इतना टाइम स्पेंड करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. बट जब आप अपना नाम बना लेते हो, वो नाम बनाने के लिए भी काफ़ी टाइम लगता है. सो जब आप नाम बना लेते हो तब बिग शॉट लॉयर्स डोंट कम टू कोर्ट एवरी डे. Okay. They come to the court when their matter is listed in the court. Now these big shot lawyers कुछ ऐसे भी होते हैं जिनके matter literally every day, every minute of the day भी listed होते हैं.
तो फिर उनको मतलब
तो उनको तो आना ही होता है. हाँ, बस वही है कि वो जो आते हैं बड़े जलवे के साथ आते हैं, 3 जूनियर्स के साथ आते हैं, बहुत सारा अलग अलग उनका एक सर्कमस्टांस होता है. So जो भी एडमिन काम होता है वो सारे उनके जूनियर्स भागा दौड़ी करके करते हैं. बट लॉयर का दिन बिना कोर्ट के
नहीं,
इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल.
एक लिटिगेटर
का. और एक मैं बताऊं, एक ना नशा भी होता है. अगर आप बहुत बड़े लॉयर भी बन जाते हो ना, आप जब कोर्ट नहीं जाते हो तो यू फील लाइक यू नॉट डूइंग मच इन योर लाइफ.
मतलब ये तो वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस की बात आ गई कि यू फीलिंग दैट योर वर्क यू सीक वैलिडेशन फ्रॉम वर्क.
आई थिंक एवरीबॉडी डज.
हाँ, बट आई थिंक लॉयर्स सिंस सो मच ऑफ देयर टाइम इज स्पेंट इन वर्क.
या.
And you said like there is no work-life balance. So more than
there is no work-life. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि I think every professional will say this, but lawyers का मतलब मैं I can't say this enough कि lawyers really have zero work-life balance.
ठीक है. So we begin at court.
Yeah. So we begin at court. We stay in court till evening. Okay. Now, just to give you one picture, district courts most places में मतलब best से best city में भी you cannot really survive in district court for so long because it is not a very good environment to go to. मतलब it's not a good environment to you don't have clean washrooms, you don't have clean places to sit and even eat your food.
So for women it is even more difficult.
Very difficult. I remember that when I had started my career, I had stopped drinking water so that I did not have to go to the washroom. And that is why many people don't litigate also. Many upcoming generations, they're going for law firms because they can sit in AC, they can have coffee, they can actually have fun in office. कोर्ट में जाके क्या करेंगे? एक तो इफ आई एम श्योर यू नो अबाउट अ यूनिफॉर्म इज सो सफोकेटिंग कि हमें मतलब कॉलर का बटन तो लगाना ही होता है, उसके ऊपर से एक बैंड भी लगाना होता है पूरा अच्छे से उसको टाइट करने के लिए, जस्ट टू मेक श्योर कि हम बिल्कुल मतलब देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो वे टू ब्रीथ.
So are you complaining?
Seems like I'm complaining, but I'm just telling you how sad it is for young lawyers to start their career as litigation.
Okay, so litigating court, no pee breaks. Then what?
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
So then in the evening, then after the work is done, then we come back again to office. We don't go back home. We come back to office. Okay, we take our tea breaks, etc. And then again we start working on the next day ke cases.
Okay, so now you need to define work for a lawyer. What exactly is this work? Is it so? Broad strokes are that it is legal research and writing, it is drafting, it is reading up on a lot of material.
Right.
But now I want you to break it down piece by piece as to what you found to be the most efficient way to say execute research. What is the most exacting and the most specific way and the most enjoyable or the most efficient way in which you did drafting? So let's go piece by piece. First, let's quickly define what exactly is work that you do after you come back. I'm sure you're tired, so you're freshened up, you probably had something to eat. Then you sit down on the table and now you're ready to work till whatever, midnight.
So पहले तो मतलब midnight. So पहले तो I have to first decide कि the moment I sit down at my table, I first open my eCourts website. So basically what happens is we have a lawyers have like a e-courts website जिसमें ना everyday के cases listed होते हैं date wise कि okay the next
So this helps you schedule your
yes
next
so we get to know कि अच्छा ठीक है दूसरे दिन कौन सी cases listed है.
So you schedule
what
it.
we do so what we do is first we open our e-courts website. We have our own diary, so every lawyer has a very different way of working. What I do is I have like a calendar diary, okay, where when I open the e-courts website I just list down all the cases that are scheduled for the next day, okay,
So
and I
you're
write down
scheduling only for the next day.
only for the next day, okay, as of now. First what I'll do is one more thing, I missed one step there. First what I'll do is whatever cases I finish today, like right the day when on that particular day, I will write down the conclusionary remarks ki acha theek hai, now this has happened, now this has been listed for so and so date. So I'll first update my diary, okay,
So updation
yes,
and then scheduling, checking your schedule and figuring out what
checking your schedule for the next, only for the next day. Okay, and then so what happens with us is every case that is listed, okay, there is a stage of that case, like either it will be listed for hearing or it will be listed for evidence or it will be listed for arguments, okay, so there are many stages. So I will then check कि अच्छा ठीक है मेरी ये फलाना ABC versus XYZ केस लिस्टेड है कल के लिए, ये कौन से स्टेज पे, तो देन आई विल चेक. इफ इट इज लाइक अ वेरी स्मॉल, कोई एडमिन काम करना है, कोई एप्लीकेशन अगर उसमें सबमिट करना है या कुछ करना है, तो व्हाट आई डू इज लाइक इमेजिन दैट इफ आई फाइंड आउट दैट आई हैव टू फाइल एन एप्लीकेशन टू bring legal heirs of the opposite party, suppose, okay, कि मुझे इस टाइप की miscellaneous application फाइल करनी है अपने कल के केस में. So then I am going to either get hold of a junior who I will give the case to, the file to, and then I'll tell the junior कि इस तरीके इस particular प्रेयर की एप्लीकेशन बना के रखो, एंड फिर मैं ठीक है.
So you delegate.
I delegate. अगर ये छोटा मोटा एप्लीकेशन है तो I delegate.
To delegate the small work, the admin work.
Yes, absolutely.
So you, as a lawyer, you won't spend a lot of time
on miscellaneous applications.
As a lawyer who's been fairly experienced,
right.
Maybe initial years you may not have a junior, maybe you will be a junior yourself.
Yes.
But in the later stages you will be definitely delegating the admin work.
Yes, but एक थोड़ा सा मेरे अंदर वो फिनिकी भी हूँ मैं कुछ words मतलब कुछ drafting को लेके. So sometimes what happens is कि even smallest of things I think कि let me just do it myself. You know?
So that's a very like according to me that is something that I also do, which is picking up the smallest of the smallest tasks and doing it yourself.
Right.
Because you don't trust others that they'll do it, they'll be able to do it. So it's not scalable. You cannot work like this forever. So when you do delegate, how thorough are you with the checking, or when you're delegating you trust the person ki theek hai? Because I've worked with both kind of people. I've worked with the kind of people जो delegate करके भूल जाते हैं. They don't give, now they don't care. हो गया वो हो गया. The priority of that task is so menial or so insignificant to them that they'll just delegate and move on. Even if it is not to the perfection, the T's are not matching and all of that, it's fine by them. But with some other people, it's like doing the same work twice.
See, I think there's no black and white answer to this. Okay?
So what is your answer?
So that's what I'm saying. Even my answer is not black and white because it completely depends on the circumstance. If the application is not that important for me, where it is like chalable types, कि चलो ठीक है, I can actually judge भी इसको नहीं पढ़ने वाला है, मुझे पता है, ठीक है, I have to actually mention it to the judge और खत्म करना है, तो I will at that time what I do is I delegate and I forget about it, क्योंकि मेरा काम भी कम हो रहा है and my junior is also learning.
So it varies.
It varies.
Okay.
For certain things, when it is like really important, then I will check word by word. So it completely depends on the complexity of the case.
Okay, so then what? So, you've taken your updates, you've checked your schedule.
Yes.
You've figured out what stage the case is at, and then you delegate it if
it is
work,
admin
if any.
work. Yes.
Now, are you attacking the meat now?
Now, in case if it is a very important case, or if I have a hearing listed for, if I have a hearing tomorrow, the next day, basically, then what I do is I ask my clerk to get me the file for that particular case, whichever is listed the next day. Every lawyer, this is a common factor, like amongst all lawyers. what we do is, see, our cases are very big. I don't know if you've seen files in a lawyer's office or not, but they're, I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to think that lawyers are very scary because they used to have very thick files with a lot of papers. It is humanly impossible to remember things. Okay, so every lawyer has a note sheet. Okay, that they have in their, like, they actually attach it to the case, where we are actually taught in law school how to make a case note. So we make case notes for every case. Every lawyer has a different style of making case notes. But it's an art. It's a very big skill to make case note. So then I will get my file. I will open my case note. Okay. I will go through everything about that particular case. Okay. Again, depends on how much work I have. If I have to study
So case note is like a summary of
it's like a summary. In layman language, I can call it a summary, but there's a lot of more technicalities involved in it.
Okay.
So
I am layman. Okay.
so yeah. So summary of the course of the case. And once I go through the case, okay, then I will again take a piece of paper, prepare my notes for the next day's hearing. Okay. So I will write down.
So these notes are
for me, my personal notes.
So what is like a note? What does this note look like?
So this note, basically, just imagine I take like a white A4 size paper, okay, divided into two parts. On left hand side, I write down all my basic pointers that I have to mention to the judge. Okay. कि अच्छा facts में एक line लिख दिया, argument में एक line लिख दिया, and on the right hand side I write down the judgments that I have to rely on while arguing.
Okay, so your references.
So I'll write down the judgments. I'll write down page numbers. कि अच्छा ठीक है. So what happens is, now I feel like I'm teaching a class. So what happens is, when I'm arguing, right, whenever a lawyer is arguing in front of the judge also has the same file open. And the lawyer also has the same file open, and those files have to match each other. So when I'm arguing, I have to guide the judge कि Your Honor, kindly turn to page number 32. Right? So I have to write down those references also in my notes only, because by the way, the judge, he can ask you anything under the sun. So you have to be prepared for everything. That is why that one piece of paper basically consists of the entire universe of your case. So everything. So I write down all my references.
So my point is that from whatever courtroom dramas that we see on stage or in films, the being a lawyer always has a dramatic and a bit of a stage element to it.
Right.
So does that mean that, so I'm sure that requires a certain level of confidence and public speaking skill, but is that the only place where a lawyer gets to be creative, or are there other avenues for the lawyer, say while writing something, that where they can express creativity as well? Because to me, when I read a legal notice, it is the most boring, bland, and unnecessarily lengthy piece of writing, where I feel like the same could have been said in 3 words, and the lawyer is breaking it down.
There is a reason for that,
So tell me what the reason is, and before that, tell me what are the avenues where you as a lawyer are exploring your creativity. Because to me, the drafting bit or the reading bit sounds very boring up until now.
See, lawyers का जो creativity होता है ना, that is very hidden. Okay, like for example, if you ask आप किसी भी एक theatre artist को देख लो या painter को देख लो, you can see the result of their creativity. But with lawyers, the only result of the creativity is when he or she wins the case.
Meaning? मतलब समझा नहीं.
मतलब लॉयर की क्रिएटिविटी इज नॉट वेरी प्रोमिनेंट. आप उसको अप्रिशिएट नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि आपको नहीं समझ आएगी वो चीज.
एज अ लॉयर, व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग एट द लॉयर्स दैट यू लुक अप टू और यू अप्रिशिएट,
yes,
what is only in terms of creativity, what are they doing?
That is basically exceptionally good research, finding an authority which is not very easy to find, and then converting it, using that research in the most unexpected manner to create an argument.
Okay, so you're basically saying that connecting two very distant dots.
It's not necessary. So I'll give you an example. Okay, like there was a case where this one person had filed for compensation at workplace. Okay, कि मेरे काम के दौरान मुझे चोट लग गई इसलिए मुझे पैसे चाहिए. ही वॉज अ शेफ. ओके. एंड उनका जो एक उनका प्राइवेट पार्ट में चोट लग गई वो. ठीक है. एंड मेल शेफ उनको प्राइवेट पार्ट में चोट लग गई थी वाइल कुकिंग. ठीक है. तो ये जब केस हमारे पास आया था, हमने जो आर्ग्यूमेंट किया था, नाउ इट माइट साउंड टू यू कि अच्छा ठीक है इसमें क्या ही रखा है, बट हमने ये आर्ग्यूमेंट किया था कि उन शेफ का कुकिंग करते वक्त उस प्राइवेट पार्ट का कोई यूज ही नहीं है. द ओनली थिंग दैट दे आर यूजिंग इज तो द ओनली थिंग कि वो अपने से फिंगर्स यूज कर सकते हैं. तो अगर उनके फिंगर में कहीं चोट आई है तो हम कॉम्पनसेशन दे सकते हैं, अदरवाइज नहीं दे सकते. क्योंकि वर्क का मतलब सिर्फ कुकिंग ही आता है, बाकी और कुछ भी नहीं आता है. बाकी अगर आप गलती से हाथ से छूट के आपके प्राइवेट पार्ट में नाइफ लग गया तो दैट इज नॉट इक्वल टू वर्क. इन तो वी हैव गॉन इनटू द डेप्थ ऑफ व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ वर्क.
Okay.
So my point is.
So when you are doing all of these things.
Yeah.
First of all, what was the result of this?
Yeah, we won. Even the judge was shocked. He was laughing. But we actually brought in authorities. मतलब वर्क के डेफिनेशन को प्रूव करने के लिए हमने कहाँ से यूके के जजमेंट्स और ये सारे जजमेंट्स को निकाल के बता दिया कि नहीं, शेफ का अगर हाथ कटा है तो ही हम पैसे देंगे, अदरवाइज हम नहीं देंगे.
Okay. So since we are on the topic of creativity, this is a very good anecdote. So your research.
Yeah.
Was it creative? Because while you were doing your research, how did you find these references and citations of UK? Was the searching bit creative?
No. See, research does not frame my argument. My argument frames my research.
No, of course. Oh, okay, so you're saying that you started with a hypothesis.
Yes.
And then you said that, okay, this is my hypothesis, let me try and prove it.
Yes.
So the creativity is in
how you carve, how you make it. It's like, you know, एक पेंटर सोच लेता है ना मुझे क्या बनाना है, देन वो स्टार्ट करता है कि अच्छा मुझे ऐसे कर्व्स बनाने हैं. तो हम भी वैसे ही करते हैं, और उसी दौरान आपको कुछ बहुत नई चीजें भी मिल जाती है, उसको भी आप फ्रेम करते हो अलग अलग तरीके से. तो दैट इज वेरी क्रिएटिव. एंड
जैसे हाइपोथेसिस, साइंटिफिक हाइपोथेसिस होता है तो कई बार वो गलत भी प्रूव हो जाता है. यू स्टार्ट विद एन आर्गुमेंट, यू ट्राई टू प्रूव इट, एंड समटाइम्स इट fails.
Yes.
Has it ever happened that you go down a rabbit hole with a hypothesis and then you find out that this is actually a dead end?
Many times. In fact, 80% of our job is that.
Okay.
Many times. Another creativity lies a lot on our writing. I know you just mentioned that it's very boring to read.
It appears so.
I understand. And that is the creativity. I know you will find it really funny, but for any, आप किसी भी common इंसान को पूछ लो, they will find legal writing very boring. But it is supposed to be so for a common person.
Why?
See, there are two reasons. I don't want to reveal this secret because then, you know, every human being is now going to understand why we do what we do, and they're going to spend time in actually doing this.
Questioning.
Spend time in actually unveiling the entire word answer secrets that we added.
But you are not the sole.
True. I'll just give you like a basic understanding of why. So, you know, there's normal English and then there's legal jargons and legal English. Okay, so legal English is very different from normal English in its own way. You'll not really think that this is legal language, but it actually sounds very convoluted and very weird. Why? Is because now imagine that if I have to, you know, even the usage of word and, slash, or, like for example, I'll use these words to cover everything, to make my statement very airtight. Okay, and I will very subtly remove or and any of these to just
can you give an example?
Like for example, I say that I will eat apple and or orange.
Or orange.
And slash or, that's called as and or. Okay, I will eat an apple and or an orange. What does this mean according? If this statement will be true, if I eat an apple, will this statement be true?
And it will be true if you eat an orange and if you eat both.
Yes. Okay. Now.
But it's not true if you eat neither.
Do you think so?
I'll either eat an apple or an orange.
I didn't say either or. I just said I will eat an apple and or an orange.
But okay, so if there are 4 combinations, apple. Only apple, only orange. Apple and orange.
Yeah.
And then no apple.
And no orange.
No orange. Right. So there are 4 combinations.
Right. So now I've included all the combinations by using and or.
But where does the no apple nothings? I'll not eat anything. Where does this in? How does this get included?
And that's not an option.
Okay.
See,
okay.
I'm including either.
Okay, so three options.
हाँ,
Okay.
three options. Okay.
I'm just.
Nee, I get it.
हाँ.
Good. You can be a lawyer.
हाँ.
So another way, now if I remove something, like I say an apple or an orange only, okay, then I have to eat either of them for the statement to be true, right? My point is that, and then I can remove or, and if I just add and, then I have to include both. Now, this is like, if I make you understand this, and if I teach a third standard student also, he will now understand this whole Venn diagram thing that I'm telling. But when you are, now this is a very simple thing, that's why I told you. Now when you are drafting a notice, and when I have to include some compensation or a damage, I am going to, there's a very famous legal jargon that we use, unless repugnant to the context hereto, okay? Which means that unless and until this statement is true, unless and until there's something else written ahead, this will be true. Unnecessarily we
I think like what you are saying makes a lot, like to me the only thing I can relate it to is when I'm writing a formula in Excel, I'll write a formula saying that, if such and such is so, then do execute this.
So when I write unless repugnant to the context here too, I mean that unless and until there's something else written, this is true. Now why am I writing this?
Yeah, exactly. So if else.
If else.
That is the
and
logic.
What I'll do is very smartly I'll write something else later.
Okay.
Do you get it?
So in case that is.
Yes. So while reading, the common person is going to be like, अच्छा हाँ सही है, इसने सब कुछ अच्छे से मेरे हिसाब से कर लिया. But then he doesn't know कि मैंने बाद में जाके कुछ contradictory किया है. इसको तो लग रहा है कि मैंने ये legal jargon use किया है ऐसे ही ना, but मैंने उस legal jargon को actually में use किया है अपने legal notice में, and ये मुझे उसको बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. ये मैं तब बताऊंगी जब मेरा case court में जाएगा, and then when I have to tell to the judge.
So like in the movie Home Alone, when the kid knows that these two people are going to try and break into his house, he lays these booby traps across the house, hidden from the plain sight.
Yes.
And then when the thieves come in, they try to break in.
Yes.
They find at different stages, at the staircase and sometimes in the basement or coming from the ceiling, and they get surprised.
Yes.
So it's a lot like you're laying these little tiny weapons across the house.
Absolutely.
In case.
Yeah.
That's very creative.
And this we do a lot in contracts, more than legal notices and all. And if the opposite ये फिर ना एक lawyer एक chess हो जाता है, हम दो lawyers के बीच में हम लोग chess खेलते हैं.
Okay. So this is, you point out something else, but before that I was thinking that since you're so good at laying these little tiny bombs across the field, are you also good at diffusing these bombs? And is that also somewhere creativity lies when you're looking at somebody else's contract?
Yes, 100. That's why I said ki, you have to be so good at something that you see why I have to prepare my draft in such a way कि opposite lawyer को भी ना पता चले. That's my goal. My goal is not common people.
Okay.
तो अब वो opposite lawyer को भी उतना ही smart होना चाहिए कि he actually finds out what I have done, and then actually replies accordingly. Sorry, I just want to add one thing here, because if the opposite lawyer does not deny something, that means he has accepted. So if I lay down certain things जहाँ पे मैंने उस lawyer को मौका ही नहीं दिया है deny करने का, मतलब उसने already accept कर लिया, and it is in my favor in the.
Okay, that's very cool. See, I'm not trying to get into the law itself because then it's an MBA topic and I don't want to get into that. I would rather, so I'm trying to focus more on your process. So now let's go back down to your process and continuing from preparing your notes. Now you're burning the midnight lamp at this point. And what are you doing? Are you sitting down and drafting something?
No, if I have a hearing, then I'm not drafting.
Okay, but I'm saying that generally.
Let's
take an average of all your days and tell me the 5 or 6 things that you do most commonly.
There's so much to submit, there's so much to add that we have to keep drafting.
Okay, so now this is a question that I've always wanted to know the answer of. Do lawyers just pick up templates and change the names and the dates and the words and just pass it on? Is it that easy, or are you starting off afresh from a blank page and typing down everything, or is it a? I mean, I assume it's a combination of both, but I'm not sure. And then my final question is, which is better?
If you have your, like for example, I have my own set of drafts which I have drafted from scratch in the beginning, okay, and this is I have a certain way of writing. I know that this is my draft, not somebody else's draft that I've taken. So then what I do is I keep a structure ready with me, okay, and then if it is very similar to what I have done before, then I try to inculcate things that I can retain certain things which make sense, okay, even for my future. But many times I mean, this is my personal opinion. I think that, you know, the drafting itself is so interesting, and every case is so different from the other that you will have to have your your own draft, your own, like, you know, newness in the drafting, okay?
Okay, but let me stop.
I-
But isn't it also true that there are certain clauses that need to be there in a
Yes,
contract?
yes, definitely.
So when you are working on that, isn't it sometimes like counterproductive?
No, definitely. That's why I was just coming to that. Having said that, there are certain common clauses, common sort of, paragraphs in a draft.
Boilerplate.
हाँ, boilerplate clauses. Wow, Shvankari, तुमने मेरे से ही सीखा है, ठीक है? So boilerplate standard clauses that you can directly put in any type of a contract. There are certain standard paragraphs like अगर suppose आप कोई maintenance application file कर रहे हैं, matrimonial application file कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें जो बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती है, वही घिसी पिटी हमें background story देनी पड़ती है, वो काफ़ी similar होते हैं, तो उसको आपको बार बार repeat करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. जो no brainers होते हैं वो obviously आपको लगाना होता है. जो circumstance के हिसाब से चीज़ें change हो रही है, तो I think I will go with the third option, that is combination of both. Okay, and should not always start doing everything from scratch, even if you have things ready, because it is just wasting your time. Okay, you can spend that much more time in preparing for arguments.
Okay. So as a follow-up to this, tell me, now that we have large language models and we have, ChatGPT and all of that, I understand that ChatGPT may not be able to draft the entire contract on its own.
नहीं, ChatGPT बहुत अच्छा contract draft करता है.
Okay, but even if it does, I am not going to trust. I am not going to copy a ChatGPT ka draft and send it to a client and hope ki, fingers crossed, hope for the best.
Right.
Personally, I need a lawyer.
100%.
This is not a ad copy that I am getting written. So the point is, what are some smart ways that you have probably used AI and LLM specifically? Because one application that I instantly thought of with AI when you were explaining your process was that you mentioned the summary, the notes.
Case note.
The case notes, yes. So I felt that this is something that you can trust with AI.
Actually, that is something that I just cannot trust in ChatGPT. Case note is one very big thing because as I told you, case note is not summary. It's not like a short version of the entire case. Case note is like a personalized, like a guidance book of a lawyer that the lawyer can use to argue in front of the judge. Okay.
So then, what are some decent ways a young lawyer can be using their AI?
Yes.
Tools?
So how a young lawyer can do it is like how I do it. I'll tell you. I don't know if that's the right way to do it or not. But like for example, I draft a particular clause. Okay. With my legal knowledge, with my logic, and with my necessity, I will draft it on my own. Okay. Then what I tell ChatGPT is to convert this draft, this clause that I have drafted, in a better and proper legal structure and format.
But do you trust AI to structure the quote unquote legal format to the Indian standards?
The secret thing for the result is to give the right command to ChatGPT.
Okay.
If you tell
So
ChatGPT,
can you give me like a command that you're giving to ChatGPT?
I tell ChatGPT to convert this into a legal clause without changing the legal jargons used by me.
But you have not mentioned the legal formatting to be in compliance with Indian standards of legality.
It's not necessary. It's fine. Because see, when I'm writing the clause, I am already writing in my clause, my Indian legality is already reflected ChatGPT is smart enough. ChatGPT को आपको अलग से बताने
Okay,
की
so
जरूरत
you
नहीं
are asking the AI to not change the jargon,
Yes.
but you're asking it to maybe correct the grammar.
Correct the grammar and legal formatting also. I call it as legal formatting. So he knows, ChatGPT knows कि अच्छा ठीक है ये ना law का ही काम है सारा, ठीक है. एंड मुझे उसको अलग से UK, US, ब्रिटिश, इंडियन
Okay.
ऐसा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं, क्योंकि मेरा clause itself ChatGPT understood कि this is an Indian.
Okay, so the AI knows what clause
Yes,
you're talking
yes,
about.
yes.
So okay, and you verified before copy pasting?
100%. एंड मैं तो मतलब आई जस्ट टेक सो चैट जीपीटी का हेल्प लेना और उसको एज इज कॉपी करने में बहुत फर्क है. जब वो कर
So
लेता
you're
है
looking at it as an assistant, not as
Assistant, yes, yes.
not as a worker,
नहीं डेफिनेटली नो. जब चैट जीपीटी काम कर लेता है उसमें भी आई मेक 100 चेंजेस.
right? But overall, it helps you maybe give a product faster.
Yes, and then I can also say कि please refer to Indian Contract Act 1872. Please refer to Section 30 of the Consumer Protection Act, and please add the legalities of that. So then ChatGPT काफी अच्छे से उस चीज को incorporate भी करता है, but I still completely use my, मतलब इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मैं पहले Section 30 नहीं पढ़ूंगी.
Right. Okay. So you're drafting.
Yeah.
You are using a combination of your templates and your real language, and you're using a little bit of AI to help you with a little grammar and formatting. And when do you know that that draft is done?
When do I know? That's a very interesting question. ये तो मैं आज पहली बार इसके बारे में सोचूंगी, क्योंकि when I know, I know. तो
Are you usually satisfied with what you produce, or are you the kind of person who's just making corrections till
I
the
am
last
making
minute?
corrections till the last. जब तक वो प्रिंट होके मेरे सामने नहीं आ जाता, और जब मेरे पास मतलब बिल्कुल ऑप्शन ही नहीं होता कि अब मैं इसको करेक्ट कर सकती हूँ. When I'm like, oh my god, I've wasted enough pages, that's when I start. But I keep making corrections till the last minute. Okay, I'm never satisfied with my draft, but I'm like, अच्छा ठीक है, I have given my enough to it. So yeah, I know.
Do you think being obsessive with your work, the way you're describing right now, is it a essential of being a good lawyer?
आई थिंक थोड़ा सा आपको अपने काम के लिए ऑब्सेसिव होना पड़ेगा अगर आपको कुछ बहुत बड़ा करना है, डिफरेंट करना है, अच्छा करना है.
Because I have heard horror stories of lawyers who are like really like abusive with their work.
या हाँ, वो दैट्स वेरी कॉमन एंड लॉयर्स हो जाते हैं. अब मैं तुमको एक सच बात बताऊं एकदम. एडवोकेट्स आर अडिक्टेड to their profession because of the money that it gives them, because of the fame that it gives them, because of the respect that it gives them. They are mad about their work.
But isn't like I
Every
feel like
profession.
with like no, not every profession. I'm saying that specifically with lawyers, fame seems like it seems like a bit of a indulgence for something that is because to me they're like dealing with morality all the time, and the hunger for fame sounds almost like counter to being.
I never said they have hunger for fame.
How
I'm
do you
just
say
saying
they're getting addicted to the fame?
Yes, there's a difference. देखो, आपको जरूरी नहीं कि आपको पैसे चाहिए, लेकिन जब आपको बहुत सारा पैसा मिलने लग जाता है ना, तब वो उसमें जो वो जो खुशी आपको मिलने लग जाती है, वो खुशी आपको चाहिए. आपको पता भी नहीं होता है कि आपको पैसा चाहिए. तो लॉयर के साथ कैसा होता है कि दैट पर्सन स्टार्ट्स गेटिंग सो मच मनी. Now he knows ki wow, working so hard and getting like my completely, like I remember I have worked with so many lawyers, and all the successful lawyers who I worked with, all of them had the poorest family life, because even on Sundays in the morning till late night they were sitting in office. Why? Because they were addicted with their work.
Okay, so poorest family life I thought you mean like financially. I thought
No, like
You're
a
saying
very
that-
bad family life, like work life balance बहुत
So-
कम था. One second, let me complete. So it's not just about money and fame. जब आप एक argument को frame करते हो, it's like creating your own baby. Okay? जब आप किसी argument को frame करते हो और वो जब argument चल जाता है ना कोर्ट में, और जब वो केस जब वो वर्डिक्ट आपके फेवर में पास होता है,
it's like a high.
वो जो हाई है ना, दैट इज यू फील लाइक द किंग ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. यू फील लाइक कि भाई मैं ही क्रिएटर हूँ इस धरती का, क्योंकि मैं लॉज बना रहा हूँ.
Because you foresaw that. You saw that coming and you said it and it had a real world impact.
Exactly. मतलब डॉक्टर्स का भी एक प्रोसेस होता है शुभांकर, जिसमें पता है वो एक बहुत ही मतलब एक फॉलोड प्रोसीजर फॉलो कर रहे हैं. वो अपना कुछ नया क्रिएट नहीं कर रहे, हर बार नहीं नया क्रिएट कर रहे हैं.
We'll have to ask a doctor.
I mean, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to tell you is कि we लॉयर्स का एक ऐसा, मैं कोई बहुत बड़ा ही नहीं कर रही हूँ क्योंकि मैंने आपने देखा होगा मैंने काफ़ी कंप्लेंट्स भी किए लीगल प्रोफेशन को लेके, बट मैं एक चीज़ ज़रूर दाद देना चाहती हूँ लीगल प्रोफेशन का है इसकी, कोई भी फॉलोड सेट ऑफ प्रोसीजर है ही नहीं लीगल प्रोफेशन. आप कोई भी चीज़ को अगर बोलोगे कि अच्छा मैं ये बुक पढ़ लेता हूँ और मैं अब मैं आर्ग्यू कर लूँगा, ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. आपको अपनी इंडिविजुअलिटी, आपको अपना इंडिविजुअल ओपिनियन और लॉजिक बनाना ही पड़ेगा. दैट इज़ वॉट इज़ क्रिएटिव. आप किसी भी चीज़ को कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं कर सकते. आपको खुद का अपना दिमाग का एक क्रिएशन करना पड़ेगा. वी आर लाइक साइंटिस्ट. तो इसीलिए जब आप वो बनाते हो ना हंस कर रहे हो यार.
I think a little like
मतलब मेरा कहने का
but fine. I get it. I mean, it's just, I mean, your words, if anything, if not facts, they're at least like reflecting your passion, which I appreciate.
So mean, passion बोल दिया. मतलब yeah. So that.
Next thing you could have said, we are basically like Modi ji. So coming back. So you've drafted. Now your piece is ready. You're finally done with it. What else comprises work for you? Researching is done. Drafting is done. Appearing in the court, I'm not talking about because I feel like that's a dramatized version. Everybody is like seen or heard at some point of time. Unless you have something different to talk about.
नहीं बहुत एडमिन काम होता है. मतलब कोर्ट में सिर्फ वहाँ खड़े होके सिर्फ आर्ग्यूमेंट ही नहीं करना होता है. There's a lot of like printing work to do, submitting applications, talking to the babu in the local language, getting things done, knowing people, talking to people. मतलब बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती है जो करना रहता है पूरे टाइम. So there's a lot of different kinds of work that we do.
Right.
Okay, so सुबह उठ के एक तो सबसे पहले एक ड्रेसिंग अप इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग वर्क फॉर अस. तो वो पूरा ड्रेसअप करके देन उसके बाद आपके पूरे फाइल्स रेडी होने चाहिए सारे. वो हम एक फाइल बनाना भी कितना बड़ा काम है. लाइक वी हैव टू, हम एक वो लेके आते हैं तो हम उसको टोचा बोलते हैं, पता नहीं क्या वो. मतलब समटाइम्स आई फील लाइक कि किसी का मर्डर हो जाएगा उससे. वो इतना डेंजरस वेपन होता है और उसको बैठ के टोचे जा रहे हैं, उसमें धागा लगा रहे हैं, उसको पूरा एक जगह पे कर रहे हैं. और इतना परफेक्ट होना चाहिए हर चीज़ की. मतलब कोई भी चीज़ थोड़ी सी भी अगर गलत हो गई तो वो ऑब्जेक्शन रेज हो जाता है उसमें. आप वो एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं होता है वो फाइल. तो फाइल बनाना वो खुद में अपने में एक बहुत बड़ा आर्ट है.
Right. So I think what I understand is कि you have to be very careful.
Very careful, extremely careful. Attention to detail.
Eye for attention.
Yes,
right.
Attention to detail is a must.
Okay. I think we have spent quite some time discussing, but I gathered a lot of information about a lawyer's drafting process and a lawyer's researching process. I thought that it was highly creative, surprisingly creative. I did not realize that it can be so creative. So thank you for that. I think we can talk about your education. We have not even like started talking
I was
about.
just wondering कि मतलब जो मैं actual में जितना time में spend करती हूँ जो main चीज़.
But I think we've run our course of an hour, so I think it's time for us to wrap up. But I think this is the first time we have spoken at length about this topic, and I've actually understood a lot about your profession.
I feel कि every husband should start a podcast because then they become such great listeners. And I have loved this 1 hour. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Advocate Mishra.
Thank you so much, podcaster Shubhankar Mishra. Bye.
Bye.